boxing is a sacrifice, a huge sacrifice. Now, what does this mean, and who am I really talking to? Who I'm talking to, or who the demographic that I'm trying to talk to, is people that, or I guess young people that want to become fighters, that want to call themselves fighters, that want to actually become great. The people that actually want to do something in the sport. People that, again, want to call themselves fighters and actually do something recognizable in the sport. If you want to be recognized in the sport of boxing, even like just statewide or nationally, you have to know it's a sacrifice, obviously, right? Just like anything else. But what do I mean by that? What I mean specifically is that many other aspects of your life are going to suffer drastically. I'm not exaggerating. So, unfortunately, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
In 1,000 feet, exit right.
So, what do I mean by that? That means sometimes they're going to go through a long period of time where, for example, you can't work. I hear a lot of people that like they'll be like, oh, I can't make it in on Tuesdays, or I can't make it on Thursdays because I have to work.
Exit right to exit 5, 15th Street.
And honestly, if you live with your parents, or like you just don't need, I mean, I know we all need money. But
Approaching a railroad crossing.
But especially if you live with your parents, and if you're young, like, take the risk of like being broke. Like, you're gonna be broke for a long time. Like, I was broke for a very, very long time, especially as an amateur boxer. So again, going back to sacrifices, if you're willing to go broke for a long time so that you can perfect your craft, so that you can show up to the gym, that you can be there every day that you're supposed to do and put in the work, that's what's gonna separate you from the rest. I went through that for I'm talking years and years, where I wasn't working, or if I was working, I'd work like 1 or 2 days a week. I'd make like, I don't know, $60-$80 a week, probably $80 maybe. That's nothing. That's nothing. Luckily, my parents showed me a lot of support. I was living away from home, but every time I would go back to visit home, I would they'd give me food, they'd give me sometimes they'd even give me some money to hold me out for the rest of the week. I had that luxury. Obviously we don't all have that. But if you live with your parents, or if you're really young, I'm talking about under, like, especially if you're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, like, you just don't have that much expenses yet, because you're not, again, there's an outliers, but it's just a sacrifice, man. It's a sacrifice you're gonna have to make. You're gonna have to go and withhold without working if you want to be great. This is only if you want to be great. Again, if you want to be mediocre, if you want to be an average boxer, if you just want to box every now and then and call yourself a fighter, then, fine. But if you want to be great, then you're gonna have to withhold from working, from seeing your girlfriend, from seeing your family sometimes even, because you have to show up and put in the work. Like, there's no substitute for it. There's no substitute. I can't exaggerate how important this piece of boxing is. It's sacrifices. So if you're willing to withhold making money immediately, if you're willing to withhold having a girl, or when you have a girlfriend, but if you're willing to withhold seeing her all the time, if you're willing to withhold, and I'm not saying you can't see your girlfriend all the time, by the way. I had a girlfriend like most of my amateur career, probably all of my amateur career. As old as, I've been amateur since I was 8. So as soon as I was old enough to have a girlfriend, I think my first girlfriend, I was like 16 or 17. So I was definitely a late bloomer. Probably 17. I can't remember. But anyway, from 17 to 26, I pretty much had a girlfriend, and it was good and it was bad. But I'm I'm talking about the bad right now because it's a sacrifice. I didn't get to see her every weekend. I didn't get to see her all the time. I had to miss out on things. And keep in mind, this is a first world problem. Obviously, I'm not throwing a pity party. All I'm saying is that there's a lot of sacrifices that come with the sport, and if you're not ready to make them, then you're not ready to be great. Like this sport, you have to be willing to sacrifice damn near everything if you want to be great. Again, this is only for those that want to be great. If you want to do something in the sport, again, you're gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to make the sacrifices. So we know that you're not gonna be able to work. So what do you do for money? Well, hopefully you have good parents. Hopefully, I don't know. You can still work. Just your work schedule is damn near gonna have to work around your boxing schedule. So let's just be fair. Let's say that no matter what, you have to work because we all have bills to pay. Okay, I'm not saying you can't work. I'm just saying you can't work full time. You can't work as much. So there's plenty of jobs that allow you to either work in the mornings or allow you to work in the evenings. Probably in the mornings would make more sense because you probably train in the evening. But like, find a job, or at least when you're going into that job, let them know, hey, Monday through Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm not available, or from like 5 to 8, whatever your training schedule is, whatever. Tell your job, hey, from this time to this time, I'm not available. So go into that job with that mindset, so they know right off the back that you're a committed boxer, and if they want to hire you for work, then that's the catch. And if they can't do that, then that's fine. Find another job. Again, this is only if you want to be great. Kind of the same thing with the girlfriend thing. You can have a girlfriend, but let her know, like, hey, when it's time for business, time for business, and we can hang out, we can kick it, we can do all this fun stuff. But when it's time to work, it's time to work, and she has to understand that. Unfortunately, the same thing with your family. You're gonna miss birthday parties. I've missed my own birthday parties. I've missed my family's birthday parties. I've missed my family's weddings. Like, I'm pretty sure my mom and dad got married a second time. Like, what's it called? But they did it again, basically, the little ceremony, and I missed that because I was I don't know if I was at nationals or I was pro yet, but I also missed my uncle's funeral. I missed, these are just off the top of my head, by the way. There's so many things that I missed that I just, it sucked, and it was tragic, but hey, I got what I needed. I put in the work. So that's my biggest strong suit. You will not outwork me. You will not outwork me. I put in the most work. I work the hardest. I work the longest and the smartest. I'm not saying I'm the hardest worker in the world, although I might think so sometimes. But I'm not the only hard worker. All I'm saying is that I'm putting in the sacrifices. That's how I'm able to leverage a level of success in boxing. I was a 3-time California state champion. I was formerly ranked number 2 in the country. I had 150 amateur fights. I was in the 2020 U.S. Olympic trials. I've actually fought world champions, current world champions. I've given them tough fights to where, like, it was a split decision. Like, I lost to I forgot his name. No, I remember his name. I just want to name drop. But I fought these people, gave them hard fights, and I was able to, at least in my personal opinion, become great. At least recognizable. At least I'm very well known in boxing, because boxing is, I'm not talking about worldwide, by the way. I'm talking about within my community, within my state for sure, nationally as well. Because boxers, we all kind of know each other. It's a pretty small community. So again, especially when you get ranked so high up in the rankings, like, people are gonna talk about you. People are gonna be like, oh, that's the number 1 guy. Oh, that's the number 2 guy. People know about you. That's what I mean about being great. People recognize you. People respect you. People want to be like you. People ask you for advice. Like, that's what I mean about being great. And if you're willing to make the sacrifices, then you will be great. But don't think you can have your cake and eat it too. You can't work and have a comfortable I'm gonna say salary, or yeah, I'm just gonna say, I mean, I know most of us get paid hourly, but I'm just gonna say salary. You can't work and have a comfortable salary or pay every 2 weeks and box full time. You can have a full-time girlfriend and box full-time. You can't have a part-time job and box full-time. You can't have a part-time girlfriend and work full-time. What does that even mean? I mean that she's still like your full-time girlfriend, but she's only gonna see you when you're available, or she has to work around your boxing schedule. So if you're able to, it's a lot though. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a lot. Like, you have to give up going to social gatherings. You have to give up on seeing friends. You have to give up on seeing your girlfriend, obviously. And it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be really tough. But again, this is what it is. This is what you sign up for. So if you want to be great, if you want to be recognized by USA Boxing, if you want to be recognized by boxing globally, you have to make the sacrifice. You don't have to be broke, I'm just saying, you have to put in the time. These things take time, and a lot of the time we don't want to be broke, because guess what, it fucking sucks to be broke. It's terrible. Like, you want to take your girl out somewhere, but you can't afford it. You want to go out with your friends, but you can't afford it. You want to do something fun, but you can't afford it, because all the money that you do have, you're either spending it on freaking food so you can survive, or travel expenses for boxing, or gear for boxing. It's a lot. It's like having a damn. This car's just trying to hit me. It's like having a child. But boxing is like a jealous girlfriend. That's the best way I can describe it. Boxing is extremely jealous girlfriend, and a demanding girlfriend, that she demands that you show up every day. She demands that you're there to provide and protect. Well, not protect, but boxing is that jealous girlfriend that, like, there's no way around it. You have to be there for her. You have to be there every day without missing a beat. And if you're able to do those things, which very few people can do, very few people. I've seen hundreds, I'm not exaggerating, I've seen hundreds of fighters come and go through different gyms, because, they might have had some talent, they might have been good, they might have been naturally athletic, but they all get weeded out. They all filter out, because time tells all. Time beats everybody, man. Like, you can't beat time. Like, eventually, if you can't sustain showing up to the gym every day, year after year after year, missing all these things year after year after year, then don't do it, man. Like, no, don't kid yourself. Don't put yourself in a losing situation, because it is what it is. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the time. You have to make the sacrifices. And if you're willing to do that, you will be great. That's all I got.